Hello, good afternoon, and namaste from Nepal. I am Captain Retired Pimbahadur Gurung and am currently the Senior Area Welfare Officer of Kathmandu, which is one of the busiest area welfare centers in Nepal. I say busy because I and my staff in Kathmandu look after over 8,000 Gorkha pensioners who are scattered across 13 districts. I served in the Brigade of Gorkhas for 27 years, which included operational tours to Bosnia and Afghanistan. I am the fourth generation in my family history to serve as a soldier, as my father served in the same battalion, the 6th Queen Elizabeth's on Gorkha Rifles, and my grandfather and great-grandfather both served in the Indian Army. I have 3 children who are settled in the UK: Tashi, the eldest boy, Dolma, and the youngest Sange, who is currently in her 2nd year at a college at Ashford in Kent. My wife Kamala has supported me throughout my journey so far and is living with me in Kathmandu. I grew up as a line boy, traveling with my parents and younger brother wherever my father's posting took us, from Sungai Petani in Malaya to Tuku Lines, Syria, Brunei. The stability of my education started only when my father was called forward to join the Gorkha Reserve Unit, which was a small unit providing security duties for the Sultan of Brunei back in 1973. My father served in Brunei for quite a few years with the Gorkha Reserve Unit, and this is where I spent most of my primary and secondary education. I then decided to join the British Army as I saw an opportunity to broaden my career. The competition for very limited places was very fierce, but with hard work and dedication, I managed to get through the rigorous selection process and joined the Brigade of Gorkhas in January 1987. After a grueling year-long intensive training at Training Depot Brigade of Gorkhas in Hong Kong, I was selected to join 6th Queen Elizabeth's on Gorkha Rifles, which at that time was based in the United Kingdom. The opportunity to fly was presented to me when I was recommended by my commanding officer then to attend aircrew aptitude selection at RAF Biggin Hill in January 1992. I remember leaving the barracks at Casino Lines, Hong Kong, as a very young, naive man, not knowing what to expect during the aptitude tests, as no other Gorkha soldier had done it before, and I could not fully prepare myself. I luckily got through the initial aptitude tests and progressed on to the written tests at the Army Air Corps Training Center at Middle Wallop in Hampshire. After successfully passing all the written tests, I was loaded on a 3-week flying grading course at Middle Wallop, where we were allocated civilian instructors to teach us to fly, and more importantly, to assess my suitability for the demanding year-long Army Pilots course. The few weeks of selection paid off when I was selected to attend the year-long residential course, which consisted of basic flying training on single-engine Chipmunk to qualify us to private pilot's standard, basic flying training on Gazelle helicopter, and finally the advanced rotary phase with military instructors to teach us to fly and operate the helicopter in a tactical environment. On 5th March 1993, I made history in the Brigade of Gurkhas by qualifying as a fully fledged helicopter pilot. I was very fortunate to have a very few senior Gurkha officers, my parents, and soldiers of Gurkha Company Sanders witness my wings parade. I then served with 4 Regiment Army Air Corps in Germany for 2 years and moved back to Wattisham in Ipswich, which is now home to an Apache squadron. I also served with 7th Flight Army Air Corps flying twin Bell 212s in Brunei. After about 6 years flying tour with the Army Air Corps, I returned back to the Brigade of Gurkhas. Nepal has been in strict lockdown since March this year, and it has hugely affected the way we conduct our day-to-day business in supporting our pensioners, and the lockdown has now been extended to 14th of June with international flights banned until 30th of June. With no clear indication on how things would develop in the future with the pandemic crisis, it becomes increasingly important for us to help our pensioners even more, as they will face many difficulties from receiving their basic pensions to traveling to the welfare centers to ask for help. Despite the restrictions, our welfare center has remained open since the lockdown was enforced, and we have continued to provide essential financial and medical support to our pensioners. We have been able to continue operating as our diplomatic blue-plated vehicles and motorcycles allow us to move more freely than others, and we have managed to conduct home visits to our vulnerable pensioners where required. We are also preparing to support our pensioners during the annual monsoon season, which is around the corner. This is a particularly difficult time for the majority of our pensioners, where natural disasters like landslides, flooding, lightning strikes, and thunderstorms are a constant threat, and which has an impact on our capacity to operate and adversely affect our beneficiaries and the wider community. I will be posting a short video clip of the difficulties our staff have to face to travel to conduct home visits later on. This is the time of the year when road access to villages is particularly very difficult for quite a few months. Due to the ever-changing pandemic crisis and the impending monsoon season, we have put in contingency plans to help our pensioners as much as we can, and remain flexible to adapt to ever-changing situations as things evolve in the days and months to come. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of all our veterans and their families to thank our generous supporters who have time and time again been through thick and thin with us, supported us, especially in times of crisis. A good example was the and in so many other ways for the past 50 years. Your support is very much deeply appreciated by all, and more so by the veteran who lives in the remotest part of Nepal. I was on a home visit recently to a widow welfare pensioner, and as we got talking and explaining how and where her pension comes from, she was gobsmacked to hear that one of her supporters was a retired Mrs. Smith from somewhere in the United Kingdom. For all your efforts, we owe you a lot and cannot thank you enough from the bottom of our hearts. And that is all I have, and I'm ready to take questions. Salindra Nalbo Namri Saab, thank you for coming online. Thank you, Leslie Marshall. Jack, thank you. Linda, I'm very glad that your dad was with the Gurkhas in the Malayan conflict. The most difficult part of my job, there are very difficult, so many difficult things we face in Nepal. However, I can sum up by saying it's expectation management. We cannot make obviously everyone happy. As a manager, I cannot make all my staff happy, and I cannot make all the pensioners happy as well. The pensioners now are quite demanding. They want to know what their salary are. They want to know what their pay increases are. So I would sum up by saying that the most difficult part of my job as a line manager is expectation management. Joyce, thank you for coming online. Deepak, thank you. Elizabeth, yep, it was good to know that you lived in Dharan for a while. Caroline, thank you for all your comments, which is appreciated. When I was selected as the first Gurkha pilot, I was just over the moon. I can vividly remember after having just conducted my test, and the instructor said, well, Pim, what do you think? And I said, I think it went okay. And he smiled at me and said, I have good news. And that was when, I thought, wow, that was when I was really happy, yes. Yep. Dean, Edie, thank you for writing. Yep. Richard, Dickie Banks, respect to you as well. Thank you. Jack, thank you for your concerns. it is quite difficult for Dom Dolly. Yeah, it is quite difficult for young men to leave Nepal because they have got to be separated with their families. But once they get settled in UK, I think they would be happier because they would look forward to coming on leave. Yep, Richard. Yep, thank you for writing. Carol Morgan, thank you for your kind comments. Andy as well. Maureen Jackson, thank you for writing. Your words are appreciated. David. Nikki, I look after roughly about more than 8,000 veterans in our area, which consists of about 13 districts. Becca, the monsoon, as I'm looking out the window, I think it has started and it's sort of, I think, reeling in motion now. Yes, it has just about started, a bit early. Bhagirat, I don't think there are any other Gurkha pilots in the Brigade of Gurkhas so far. Thank you for writing. Valerie Pollard, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you for your comments about the Gurkha family, which is appreciated. Bhagirath, I took my training back in 1992 at Middle Wallop in Hampshire. Les Maddis, thank you for writing. Yvonne Rob, it's good to know that, yeah, thank you for writing anyway. Anne Ross, thank you very much kindly for your excellent comments. Alan and Fiona, thank you very much. What do we need from us as supporters to help you? Monica Payne very kindly wrote what we need from supporters. We need as much help as you can. Thank you very much. Becca, my father was over the moon when I joined the Brigade of Gurkhas, and I've got a younger brother who retired as a captain as well. So you can imagine two brothers in the Brigade of Gurkhas. My father and mother are over the moon. Michael Faulkner, it's good to know that you shared barracks with the Gurkhas in Johor in Malaya in 1956-57. Richard Dungate, thank you for writing. And Ashley, yep, we remember the time we used to learn English at Beaconsfield. Yep, I think we are better nowadays. Yes, question from Gurkha Welfare Trust. Namaste. I'm well here. I do some sort of flying related, which I've taken up while I'm in Nepal, and when I have time, which is basically paragliding in Pokhara, which I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. John Carter, thank you. Ian Brackenbury as well, thank you for writing. And we have very good respect to you as well. Katrina Jenkins, thank you for your kind words. Richard Dungate, I don't think my English is better than yours, but I'm trying. Yeah. Bhagirath, yes, thank you for your question. The veterans in Nepal, both service and welfare pensioners, have been affected in some way or the other by the COVID-19, and we are doing all we can on the welfare front and British Gurkhas Nepal to support them as much as we can. Oh, Andrew Williams served with the 249 Signal Squadron. That's very nice to know. Thank you, Linda Bourne. Oh, Sachet, thank you. I've got a very good question from Sachet Gurung. Yep. Since the lockdown was introduced, obviously the freedom of movement has been difficult, but we have managed to do field trips outside and inside the valley by liaising with the district officers or the local enforcement police, and we have explained to them what we do. So, yep, it is a struggle, but we have managed to get through to our pensioners as needed. Deborah, thank you. Michael Mains, thank you for writing. Craig Dotkin, thank you. Danny Colcom, thank you for writing. Ken Reeves, Valerie, it's good to know that your husband is a support of the Gurkhas. Thank you. Monica Payne has written a very good question on, do we have enough supplies to fight the COVID-19? Within Gurkha Welfare Trust, we have enough protective equipment ourselves, but I'm not sure if that is the case with the government at the moment in time. Graham Teller, it's good to know that you know quite a few of our serving Gurkha soldiers and families. Oh, Caroline Brennan, it's good to know that your son is trying to raise £800 for the Gurkha Welfare Trust by cycling. Thank you very much. Dean Edie, please don't forget the people who buy the Official Secrets Act. Yep. Yeah, I didn't quite catch the question. Ed Yoki, respect to you as well. John McDonald, thank you for your very kind words, and we owe Great Britain a lot as well. God bless you. Ian Roswell, thank you for your kind words. Dean Edie, thank you for writing. Yeah, there are a few people who are still trying to write. Adam, thank you for writing and namaste. Um, the staff morale is, I think, okay. We have just been recently funded by GWT to conduct some sort of social event. So I think the staff are looking forward to that. We are okay. Monica Payne, it's good to know you are doing the virtual average challenge to raise funds for us. Thank you very much. Lynn Graves and Dean Edie, Elizabeth Carl, thank you very much for writing. Um, Peter Green, thank you very much for your kind words. And James Brown, who has just popped up as well. David Westgate, good to know your grandfather fought at Imphal in 1944 alongside Gurkha soldiers. That's really good to know. Oh, Christy Maxwell. Good to know that Bobby and Demi, who are young as 13 and 10, are doing the average challenge in Scotland. That's excellent. That's really good. Thank you for that. Linda Stafford, thank you for writing. I personally think we have got quite a lot of help from the government. So it's only fair to say that, yeah, we have got quite a lot from the UK government now. Thank you. Lynette Davidson from Channel Islands in Guernsey. Thank you for your kind words. And Yvonne, Rob, thank you for your nice comments and coming on live, and Edna Forrest as well. And finally, I would like to thank everybody for coming, and obviously keep safe, and hope everyone in UK are well and safe. Thank you very much, and namaste to you all.